Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. Do not swipe away from this screen. This is not a random algorithmic suggestion. This is a highly classified divine interception. Archangel Michael has personally routed this specific frequency directly to your device, because heaven knows exactly what has been happening to you over the last few days. You feel it. You know something is different. Take a slow breath and listen closely. You have been noticing strange things lately. People are staring at you longer than usual, and strangers are turning their heads when you walk into a room. Even your phone is ringing with messages from people who completely ignored you for months. The atmosphere around you has fundamentally changed, and you are standing there feeling incredibly confused. I need you to lock your eyes on this message right now. If you leave this video, you will single-handedly shut the door on the biggest revelation of your entire spiritual journey. You will walk away from the exact decoder ring you need to understand your new reality. The extreme shift in your aura is not an accident. The sudden attention you are receiving is a deliberate activation. Funny how everyone pretended they did not see you coming. Funny how they left you alone in the dark. They always described you as the quiet one. They thought you were too kind and too forgiving. They assumed you would just fade into the background and stay silent forever. But they severely underestimated the power brewing inside your spirit during that season of total isolation. Right now, a massive spiritual upgrade has been deployed into your physical body. You are vibrating at a very high frequency. It is literally causing panic in the spiritual realm. And the people who once drained your energy are suddenly feeling incredibly uncomfortable around you. They are watching you with wide eyes. They cannot figure out what happened to you. Do you feel that subtle heat in your chest? Do you feel the sudden rush of confidence when you wake up? That is your spirit recognizing the truth in these words. You are no longer the empath who absorbs everyone else's toxic waste. The universe has officially crowned you as the master of your reality, and this new crown comes with an overwhelming level of raw influence. But there is a dangerous secret hidden inside this massive upgrade, something the darkness desperately hopes you never figure out. If you swipe away before the end of this transmission, you will completely miss the critical warning about who is coming for you next. Your new light is blinding. It is attracting divine blessings, but it is also attracting desperate energy vampires. Stay exactly where you are. Do not let any distraction pull you away from this sacred space. The forces that profit off your self-doubt are actively trying to disrupt your focus right now. They want you to close this app. They want you to go back to feeling small and invisible. But heaven has drawn a hard line in the sand today. Your days of hiding are permanently over. You must understand the sheer magnitude of what you are carrying. Your presence alone is now shifting the molecular structure of every room you enter. When you speak, people feel a strange compulsion to listen. When you stay silent, your quiet authority makes them tremble in fear. You have become a walking magnet for miracles, and everyone around you can feel the heat of your fire. Let me tell you exactly why they are so mad and jealous. They thought your season of waiting was a punishment. They laughed when doors kept closing in your face. They celebrated when you were pushed out of their circles. But what they did not realize was that heaven was simply clearing the stage, removing the counterfeits, so you could step into the spotlight alone. You are the new celebrity of the spiritual realm. The angels are giving you a standing ovation, but on earth, the narcissists are losing their minds. They are watching your effortless rise to power, and it is tearing them apart. They cannot manipulate you anymore. They cannot gaslight you into believing you are crazy. Your blinding light has exposed every single one of their hidden shadows. Promise me you will not let go of this truth. The secret I am about to reveal at the end of this message will permanently lock this new frequency into your DNA. It will give you the exact blueprint to handle this sudden wave of intense attention. The wealth transfer you have been praying for is deeply connected to how you manage this new influence. Do you want to know why they are suddenly obsessed with your every move? Do you want to understand the exact mechanism that turned your deepest pain into your most lethal weapon? Brace yourself. Because the reality of your new identity is more shocking than anything you could have ever imagined. The veil is lifting, the truth is rushing in, and your entire life is about to change. Before we go any further, I need you to understand this. You did not arrive at this glorious peak without walking through the darkest valley. I know exactly how physically exhausted you are right now. The weight on your spirit feels absolutely crushing today. Your bones are tired from carrying the burdens of those around you. And every single night you lay awake staring at the ceiling, wondering why your path had to be so incredibly painful. Let me take you back to the very beginning. You were always the dedicated giver in every relationship. You always showed up when they called crying in the night. You poured your golden energy into their empty cups. You loved them without any conditions or hidden motives. But when you needed just a fraction of that support in return, you were met with a chilling and deafening silence. They took extreme advantage of your pure and trusting heart. They saw your kindness as a weakness to be exploited for their own gain. You kept making endless excuses for their destructive behavior. You falsely blamed yourself whenever things went terribly wrong. You genuinely thought if you just loved them a little bit harder, they would finally see your true value and change. But they never changed their toxic ways. They simply demanded more. Then the painful isolation phase officially began for you. The people you trusted most started to drift away completely. You found yourself standing completely alone in the pouring rain. Your desperate texts went completely unanswered for days. Your phone stopped ringing with their familiar names, and a deep, suffocating loneliness settled into your chest, making it incredibly hard to take a single deep breath. You honestly thought you were losing your mind. You questioned your own sanity and your worth. You wondered if you were fundamentally broken or unlovable. The narcissists in your life gaslit you into believing that you were the root problem. They masterfully flipped the entire script against you, painting you as the crazy villain while they cowardly played the innocent victim to the crowd. It was a relentless psychological torture, but heaven was watching every single tear you shed in secret while you were completely alone. The universe recorded every time you bit your tongue to keep the fake peace. You are the empath with boundaries now. But back then, you were simply trying to survive the storm. Hit subscribe to establish a divine energy receiving station right now. Anchor yourself to this frequency before we dive into the much deeper truth. You must prepare your spirit for what comes next. Why were they so incredibly cruel to you? Why did they treat you with such profound disrespect? You constantly replay those bitter memories in your head late at night, until your tired brain feels like it is burning on fire. You desperately search for logic in their chaotic actions, but you will never find an earthly explanation for a coordinated spiritual attack. Look closely at your physical symptoms right now. You wake up at 3 in the morning with your heart beating wildly. You feel a sharp pain in your chest when they enter your thoughts. You are constantly drained, even after a full night of deep sleep. Your body is actively fighting the invisible spiritual warfare happening all around you, but you fiercely refuse to let the darkness turn your loving heart into cold stone. Even when they ripped you apart, you still wished them well. Even when they dragged your good name through the mud, you chose to remain silent. You carried the heavy and unfair burden of being the bigger person, and that immense emotional labor almost broke your spirit entirely, forcing you to walk through the darkest seasons while running completely on empty for years. The endless cycle of betrayal left a massive scar on your soul. You built thick concrete walls around your fragile heart to keep the predators out. You stopped trusting people completely and withdrew your energy. You preferred the quiet safety of your bedroom over the fake smiles of the crowd. You became the one who survived the storm alone. And in that terrifying solitude, something miraculous began to shift deep inside your core. That brutal season was never a punishment for being naive. It was not a cruel cosmic joke played at your expense. Your beautiful kindness was never a mistake or a flaw, but it was dangerously being poured into the wrong vessels, who could never appreciate it. The universe had to let you hit rock bottom. Heaven had to let them break your heart into a million tiny pieces, because that was the only way you would finally let go of their toxic grip. They ruthlessly used you as a convenient emotional dumping ground. They extracted every ounce of your bright light to fuel their own dark agendas. But here is the shocking truth they tried to hide from you all along. They did not leave you because you were somehow flawed or not good enough. They ran away in absolute terror because your rising spiritual frequency was starting to burn their demons, making them feel incredibly inferior in your presence. Take a deep breath and let that sink into your bones. Stop blaming yourself for the terrible way they treated you. The extreme exhaustion you feel today is the painful aftermath of a massive spiritual surgery that was designed to completely upgrade your physical and mental frequency. You have successfully survived the hardest part of the brutal journey, and the truth about your divine isolation will completely blow your mind. Listen carefully to what I am about to say next. You are not broken, you never were. The universe was not punishing you when everyone suddenly walked away. It was actually executing a massive protection protocol on your behalf. Heaven looked down and saw the heavy damage they were causing to your pure soul, and it decided that enough was finally enough. That painful period of deep loneliness was not a curse. It was a divine isolation. You were being pulled away from the noisy crowd so you could hear your own thoughts again. The angels had to strip away every single distraction. They had to aggressively remove every fake friend and toxic partner from your immediate environment. You needed total silence to heal. Do you remember how hard you cried when those doors closed? You begged the universe to let you into rooms where you were never meant to stay. You pleaded for relationships that would have eventually destroyed your entire destiny. But heaven firmly said no. The rejection you felt so deeply was actually God fiercely protecting your future timeline. Those people were assigned to drain your life force. They were energetic parasites disguised as lovers and friends. If they had stayed in your life, you would have completely lost your gifts. You would be trapped forever. You would serve their selfish needs. Your own dreams would slowly turn into dust, while you constantly watered their dead gardens. Stop thinking you did something wrong to chase them away. Stop replaying the past and looking for your own mistakes. The truth is much more profound. Your frequency simply became too high for their physical bodies to tolerate. As you started healing, your aura expanded and became incredibly bright, and that intense brightness felt like a burning fire to their hidden demons. Here is the truth they tried to hide from you. This is the exact reason why they were so unnecessarily cruel. They did not attack you because you were weak. They viciously attacked you because they saw your massive spiritual potential long before you even realized it yourself. They looked at your pure soul. They felt completely terrified of your raw power. You have always been the master of reality. Even when you were broken and crying on the floor, your spiritual authority was heavily shaking the room. The narcissists felt your quiet authority, and it made them panic. They had to break your self-esteem quickly, because a fully awakened chosen one is their absolute worst nightmare. They feared your divine light. They projected their own ugly insecurities onto your clean canvas. They called you crazy, but your deep intuition was just exposing their dirty secrets. They called you overly sensitive. In reality, your empathic heart could easily detect their hidden lies. Every cruel word they threw at you was actually a desperate confession of their own miserable inadequacy. So I want you to officially forgive yourself right now. Let go of the heavy guilt you have been carrying for years. You did not fail those relationships. You simply outgrew them on a profound spiritual level. The universe violently pulled you out of the mud because you are destined for the absolute highest peaks of glory. You are completely absolved. Take one slow and deep breath for me. Feel the heavy chains of the past falling off your tired shoulders. The season of painful pruning has finally come to an end. All the dead branches have been brutally cut away from your beautiful tree, leaving you perfectly positioned to absorb the pure light of divine favor. You are blooming faster than ever. This is why your isolation was absolutely necessary. You had to be separated from the infected herd. You had to learn how to generate your own internal heat. You could no longer rely on their fake warmth. And because you successfully survived the cold darkness completely alone, you have developed an unbreakable spiritual immune system. You are untouched by drama. They are watching you from a distance and feeling sick. They thought leaving you alone would destroy your mind. They expected you to come crawling back and begging for their basic attention. But instead, you rose up like a silent weapon of light. Your silence became your most lethal weapon. It is a complete disrespect that they can never overcome. Your quiet power is drawing massive attention in the unseen world. Angels are gathering around your physical location. The entire universe is currently adjusting its heavy gears to match your new frequency. You are no longer asking for a seat at their miserable table. You are building an entire kingdom of your own right, in front of their jealous eyes. But this sudden massive influence comes with a specific physical mechanism. There is a hidden reason why everyone is suddenly obsessed with your energy today. Your body has literally changed on a cellular level. Your brain waves are no longer operating in the survival matrix. And this physical shift is exactly what is triggering the ultimate wealth transfer. Before you do anything else, you must grasp this reality. The extreme validation you feel in your chest right now is real. You are not making this up. You are the chosen one who broke the generational curse. Prepare yourself, mentally and physically, because the next phase of this revelation will absolutely change the way you walk through this world forever. Now, I need you to pay close attention. There is a deeply hidden physical mechanism behind this sudden spiritual shift that you must understand. Your aura did not just magically expand overnight. Something completely structural changed inside your brain, pulling you out of the survival frequency and placing you on a totally different wavelength. For years, your nervous system was trapped in a constant state of high alert. You were practically drowning in survival beta waves. You were constantly scanning the room for danger while tiptoeing around fragile egos. Your energy was completely consumed by trying to keep the peace. You had absolutely no power left for your own growth. But when you finally stopped fighting for their approval, your brain did something miraculous. It dropped the heavy armor. It slipped into a relaxed state of deep alpha and theta frequencies. This is the exact frequency of divine creation, where miracles naturally manifest without force. And this is why your energy is suddenly so intensely magnetic today. People can physically feel this shift when you walk into a room. Your presence is no longer anxious or apologetic. You do not shrink down to make others feel comfortable anymore. Your energy simply occupies the space with a heavy and quiet authority, and that deep peace is incredibly loud to the people who are suffering in chaos. They cannot figure out what happened to you. They see the exact same physical body, but the spirit inside is completely unrecognizable. Your eyes hold a dangerous level of deep knowing. Your voice has a strange vibrational hum that commands immediate respect from those in your presence. You are radiating the pure frequency of the chosen one. Type 111 down in the comments to claim this alignment. The universe is actively rewiring your internal grid. This is the exact mechanism that is heavily amplifying your aura right now. Every time you chose silence over drama, you built a new neural pathway. Every time you walked away from toxicity, you upgraded your spiritual hardware and secretly turned yourself into an unstoppable weapon of light. This massive upgrade has unlocked an undeniable level of raw influence. People are instinctively drawn to your light. Strangers want to tell you their deepest secrets. Opportunities are rushing toward you without any physical effort on your part, because you have become a walking vortex of divine energy. You are literally pulling your desires into physical reality. But this level of power is terrifying to those who used to control you. The narcissists can sense that their old manipulation tactics no longer work on you. They try to poke at your old wounds. They try to provoke a reaction, but they only hit a solid wall of impenetrable silence, and your absolute lack of reaction is completely destroying their fragile ego. You have officially become the master of reality. Your old energy barriers have completely shattered into a million pieces. The heavy ceiling they placed over your head is completely gone. You are breathing the pure air of total liberation, and your new energetic blueprint is sending massive shockwaves through the entire spiritual realm right now. Think about how easily things are flowing to you now. You do not chase anything anymore. You simply attract. You are sitting on the throne of your own life. You are dictating the exact terms of your reality. The wealth and the connections you prayed for are lining up at your front door, because the universe only answers to this specific frequency of high worth. They thought they buried you under the heavy weight of their lies. They assumed your spirit would eventually break under the massive pressure of their constant betrayals. But the extreme pressure only turned you into a flawless diamond. You used their toxic dirt to grow a beautiful garden, and you absorbed the intense heat to forge an unbreakable soul. This is the hidden mechanism you desperately needed to understand. Your new influence is entirely a divine alignment of your deepest power. It is the direct, scientific, and spiritual result of your massive internal healing. You have successfully merged the physical and the divine, and you are literally vibrating on the exact same frequency as heaven itself today. Take a deep breath and anchor this truth into your heart. Do not shrink back down just because your light makes them squint. Let them be uncomfortable. Let their demons tremble in the blazing heat of your presence. You have paid a very high price for this specific level of peace, and you will never apologize for shining this brightly ever again. But I must warn you about a fatal trap that is forming right now. As your frequency rises, the darkness will make one final and desperate attempt to pull you back down. The universe is about to test your new boundaries, and if you are not carefully prepared, you could accidentally let the enemy walk right back through the front door. Listen very closely. But wait, do not leave just yet. This is where everything starts to make sense. As your brilliant light begins to blind the spiritual realm, a massive wave of panic is rippling through the darkness. You must understand how the enemy operates. The people who once enjoyed watching you suffer are now completely terrified of your sudden ascension. They are losing their minds right now. They are watching you glow up in total silence, and it is driving them absolutely crazy. The narcissists thought they had successfully ruined your reputation forever. They told everyone a completely fake version of your story. But your current success is loudly exposing them as bitter liars without you having to speak a single word. Your quiet authority is acting like a massive mirror, violently reflecting their deep insecurities right back into their faces. They can no longer hide behind their fake smiles. Your pure energy strips away their masks, forcing them to confront the ugly truth about their own empty lives. And they absolutely hate you for exposing their darkness. They do not hate you because you are flawed. They hate you because you possess something they can never buy. You have a pure soul. You have a direct line to divine favor. While they are constantly plotting and manipulating just to survive, you are effortlessly pulling miracles out of thin air. Your existence is a painful reminder of their own spiritual poverty. And this is exactly why the universe is isolating you from their toxic reach. Your energy is a highly valuable currency now, and heaven refuses to let them steal another dime from your account. You have become a heavily guarded fortress of light. The angels are standing shoulder to shoulder around your perimeter, blocking any low-frequency attacks from touching your aura. But here is the fatal trap I warned you about earlier. The darkness is incredibly cunning. It knows that direct attacks will no longer work on your thick armor, so it will try to use your old empathy against you. It will send a ghost from your past back into your timeline, right at the exact moment you are about to step into your new blessing. Do you feel that? That slight pull in your chest right now? That is your intuition confirming this truth. Suddenly, an ex-partner or a toxic friend will reach out with a very pathetic sob story. They will send a random text in the middle of the night. They will act like nothing ever happened, desperately trying to test if your boundaries are actually real. Do not fall for this dirty trick. This is a massive spiritual test designed by the universe to check your current alignment. The enemy wants to see if you will lower your frequency just to heal their self-inflicted wounds again. They are trying to siphon your new energy. They want to steal the massive harvest that you have spent years painfully growing in the dark. I need you to stay completely still when they knock on your door. Do not open it. Do not reply to their text. Do not give them a single drop of your precious energy. Silence is the only answer they deserve. Let them starve outside your gates. You are the cycle breaker, and you must ruthlessly protect the divine wealth that has been assigned to your bloodline. When you ignore their pathetic attempts, something incredible happens. The trap immediately dissolves. The universe sees that you have successfully mastered the lesson, and the heavy gates of heaven are finally unlocked for your ultimate upgrade. Your absolute lack of reaction proves that you have fully embraced your new identity as the master of your reality. The narcissists will eventually realize that you are completely untouchable. They will feel a deep sense of horror as you effortlessly walk right past them into your new kingdom. You are no longer their victim. You are the one who survived the storm alone, and you have returned as a powerful weapon of light that instantly burns away their illusions. Take a deep breath and let this realization settle deep into your spirit. You are so heavily protected right now. The universe is actively fighting massive battles on your behalf while you sleep in peace. The people who plotted against you are watching everything they built slowly crumble into dust, while a beautiful table is being prepared for you right in their presence. But the shift is not just happening around you. The universe is sending very clear physical signs to prove that your miracle is already here. You need to know exactly what to look for in the next few days, because the angels are leaving specific breadcrumbs to guide you toward the final activation of your divine influence. Listen very closely. Pay close attention to this next part. I am going to reveal the exact signs the universe is sending you right now. These are not random coincidences at all. They are very clear physical manifestations of your spiritual upgrade. When you experience these specific things, you will absolutely know that your new reality has finally locked into place. Number 1. You are suddenly waking up in the middle of the night. It usually happens right around 3 or 4 in the morning. Your eyes snap open, but your mind is completely calm. This is not the heavy anxiety you used to feel in the past. This is the universe downloading massive amounts of divine information directly into your subconscious mind while the world sleeps. You might feel a strange tingling sensation at the top of your head. Sometimes your ears will start ringing with a very high-pitched frequency. Do not be alarmed by this sudden physical shift. Your nervous system is simply adjusting to handle the massive surge of raw power, because the angels are literally rewiring your physical brain for absolute greatness. Number 2. You have developed a severe intolerance for superficial conversations. You simply cannot pretend to care about trivial gossip anymore. When people try to drag you into their petty drama, your body physically rejects the heavy energy. You feel an overwhelming urge to walk away and protect your peace. Your spirit refuses to consume any more toxic garbage from the crowd. This sudden detachment is actually a massive spiritual boundary being formed. You are the chosen one, and your time is now a sacred currency. Heaven is violently filtering your environment to ensure only high-frequency connections remain in your immediate circle. If a conversation does not elevate your soul, you feel completely disconnected from it. You are craving pure depth now. Number 3. You are seeing repeating numbers everywhere you look. You glance at your phone, and it is exactly 1:11. You buy a coffee, and the total is $7.77. These are not just fun little accidents on your path. These are direct messages from Archangel Michael, confirming that you are walking exactly where you are supposed to be. Every time you see these divine numbers, the universe is giving you a massive nod of approval. It is a heavenly reminder that your timeline is fully secured. The angels are actively walking beside you, orchestrating beautiful synchronicities behind the scenes to bring your desires into the physical realm. You are completely surrounded by a thick shield of divine protection today. Number 4. Strangers are reacting to your presence in very strange ways. When you walk down the street, people physically move out of your way. When you enter a crowded room, heads instinctively turn to look at you. They cannot explain exactly why they are staring so hard. Your aura has become so incredibly dense and bright that it demands immediate attention from everyone. Even wild animals and small children are drawn to your pure energy. They feel the total lack of fear and chaos in your spirit. But on the opposite side, toxic people will suddenly start shifting nervously when you stand near them. Your quiet authority makes their hidden demons panic, and they feel completely exposed by the blinding light you carry inside your chest. Number 5. You feel a profound sense of closure regarding your painful past. The bitter memories that used to make you cry now feel completely empty. You think about the narcissists who betrayed you, and you feel absolutely nothing at all. The heavy chains of deep resentment have magically dissolved into thin air. You have finally forgiven the situation to free yourself. This absolute neutrality is the ultimate sign of a mastered reality. You no longer need an apology from those who broke your heart. You no longer seek revenge or validation from the miserable crowd. Your total indifference is the highest level of spiritual evolution you can achieve, and it proves that you have successfully taken back every single drop of your precious life force. Do you feel that deep resonance in your soul right now? You have experienced these exact signs over the last few weeks. This is the completion of the secret list I promised you. And as you recognize these physical shifts, you finally understand that the massive upgrade is no longer just a distant promise in the future. It is happening inside your body at this very second. You are standing on the edge of glory. Let this absolute truth wash over your tired bones today. The universe has meticulously guided you through the darkness just to bring you to this exact moment of clarity. Every tear and every betrayal was a necessary step on this golden staircase. You are now fully equipped to handle the massive wealth and influence coming your way. But the final activation requires one more thing. As these physical signs multiply in your daily life, you will feel a sudden rush of overwhelming power. Do not let this intense energy scare you away. You are the chosen one, and you were born to carry this heavy crown. The signs are merely the gentle warm-up for the explosive climax that is about to hit your timeline. Prepare your spirit for the final revelation right now. This is the moment everything finally converges into absolute clarity. The secret I promised you at the very beginning of this transmission is officially here. The reason why everyone is suddenly obsessed with your energy is incredibly profound. Heaven has officially chosen you to receive the greatest generational wealth transfer of this entire century, and this massive blessing will permanently elevate your family name. Your new blinding light is the undeniable physical proof of that massive inheritance today. They are not just looking at a healed person anymore. They are staring directly at a fully activated master of reality who just claimed their divine throne. You did not merely survive the brutal storm they threw at you in the dark, you became the storm itself. And now, the intense frequency radiating from your chest is actively commanding the physical world to bow down to your new boundaries, while your enemies watch in total silence. The waiting season is officially over right now. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into a massive oasis of divine favor. Every single closed door that once blocked your path is being blown completely off its hinges. Can you feel that massive shift in your spirit today? That warm rush is the pure frequency of absolute victory washing over your entire exhausted soul because you finally passed the hardest test of your life. You are stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule. The narcissists who tried to bury your name in the dirt are watching your rise in total horror. They finally realize they were merely stepping stones for your ultimate ascension to power. You used their toxic betrayal to fuel your massive spiritual rocket, and now you are soaring at an incredibly high altitude where their miserable voices cannot even reach you, leaving them trapped in their own miserable karma forever. Your silence is no longer a sign of weakness or fear. It is a terrifying roar of quiet authority that makes the darkness tremble in absolute panic. You do not need to explain yourself to anyone ever again. You do not need to prove your massive worth to people who are deeply committed to misunderstanding you. The universe has already validated your pure heart in front of your worst enemies, and they are choking on the bitter regret of losing you. This is the divine compensation for every night you cried yourself to sleep alone. This is the massive reward for every single time you chose love over bitter revenge. Heaven kept a meticulous and permanent record of your silent suffering. God is handing you the keys to a magnificent kingdom of endless abundance right now. You are fully equipped to handle this massive surge of raw power and intense influence, because the heavy pressure of the past successfully turned your soul into a flawless diamond. Do not shrink back when the massive blessings start pouring in tomorrow morning. Do not feel guilty for leaving the toxic crowd behind in the cold dust. You are the chosen cycle breaker for your entire family bloodline. Your ultimate success is the exact mechanism that will free future generations from the heavy chains of poverty because you refuse to surrender to the darkness. Embrace your glorious new identity with absolute pride and zero apologies today. You are completely untouchable in this exact moment. The thick energy shield surrounding your physical body is impenetrable to any low-frequency attacks. When you walk into a crowded room, you do not absorb the heavy tension anymore. You instantly neutralize the chaos with your blinding light. You are no longer the empath who begged to be understood by blind people. You are a highly lethal weapon of pure light, and your mere presence forces everyone around you to completely adjust their behavior. From this exact moment forward, your pure energy demands absolute respect without a single word spoken. The divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your brand new timeline. You are a walking miracle. You are a living testament to the absolute power of divine restoration in a broken world. But to safely secure this massive upgrade forever, we must quickly move into the final sealing phase of this journey before the enemy tries to intervene. The pitch-black darkness has finally retreated behind you for good. The brilliant dawn of your new era is shining its brightest rays directly onto your spiritual crown. You are vibrating at the absolute highest frequency of your entire human existence. But this massive open portal of divine energy must be intentionally locked down. If you leave it wide open, you risk letting the old chaotic energy drift back inside your space to poison your new blessings. Heaven always requires a physical action to permanently anchor this spiritual reality into the material world. You must consciously claim this massive victory for yourself. The angels are watching your immediate response right now to see your absolute readiness. You need to establish a solid physical barrier right now to fiercely protect the magnificent garden you just planted, and you must do it with absolute conviction in your heart. Do not let this powerful and euphoric momentum fade away into nothing. The enemy desperately wants you to close this video and forget everything you just felt in your heart. They want you to leave your bright aura unprotected and vulnerable to their subtle tricks. But we are going to permanently shut that heavy door right now. We are going to lock this divine frequency into your physical body for all eternity, so that no toxic person can ever steal your joy again. You have finally reached the summit of this massive spiritual mountain. Look back at the dark valley you just climbed out of today. The heavy chains of your painful past are completely shattered into a million pieces, and you are breathing the pure air of total liberation right now. The universe is giving you a massive standing ovation, and your spirit is soaring much higher than it ever has before. Hear this absolute truth and let it sink deeply into your bones. You are no longer the empath who begged to be understood by blind people. The brutal crucible of pain has successfully forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. From this exact moment on, your pure energy demands absolute respect without a single word spoken, because you have finally realized your immense true worth. You are a walking weapon of blinding light. But we must urgently address the open portal hovering above you right now. Your physical body is currently vibrating at a massive and unfamiliar frequency. This beautiful state of total euphoria is incredibly powerful but deeply vulnerable. If you simply close this video and walk away, your bright aura remains completely exposed to the toxic elements of the world. The darkness is desperately waiting for you to leave this door unlocked. The jealous spirits and the bitter narcissists are lurking in the shadows outside. They want to rush in the second you drop your guard today. Heaven strictly requires a physical action to permanently anchor a spiritual reality. You must physically lock this divine frequency into your earthly body right now, so that no dark force can ever steal your newly found peace. You need to close the heavy gates and firmly seal this blessing forever. This is your ultimate responsibility as the chosen cycle breaker of your bloodline. God has fought massive spiritual battles to deliver this specific message to your screen today. Do not let this glorious momentum slip through your tired fingers. You must proudly partner with heaven to create an impenetrable shield around your new life, proving to the universe that you are finally ready to receive. Take your power back by establishing a permanent divine energy receiving station right now. Hit subscribe to officially anchor yourself to this highly protected frequency. When you join this sacred circle, you are building a massive wall of light around your daily life. You are telling the universe that you refuse to ever walk alone in the dark again, and heaven will respond by sending an army of angels. Secure your spiritual perimeter today. Now I need you to declare your absolute dominance over the shadows. Go down to the comments and proudly type Amen to seal this powerful alignment. When your fingers physically type that word, you are casting an unbreakable spell of protection over your timeline. You are officially signing the divine contract that guarantees your ultimate wealth transfer, ensuring that every promised miracle finds its way to your front door. Seal this beautiful reality right now. But true mastery requires one final and completely selfless act of love. If this fiery message has reignited the dying faith inside your chest, do not keep this great blessing hidden away. There is a deeply wounded soul out there bleeding in the dark of despair. They are desperately needing a guiding light to survive the terrifying night, and you have the exact power to pull them out of the mud. Share this message to activate the anointing and multiply your own blessing. When you send this frequency to someone else, you are throwing a lifeline to another chosen one. You are actively expanding the kingdom of light on this earth. Sowing this pure seed of hope today is mathematically guaranteeing a massive harvest for your own future tomorrow. The universe always completely overpays those who generously distribute its divine healing to the broken masses, returning your kindness tenfold in pure financial abundance. Take one last deep breath and let the total peace wash over your mind. The days of endless crying and severe panic attacks are completely over. The people who completely misunderstood your pure heart are no longer your problem to solve. You have officially handed their bitter karma back to the universe, and you are walking away from the burning bridge without ever looking back over your shoulder. The new celebrity of the spiritual realm is finally taking their rightful throne. Every room you enter from now on will completely shift to accommodate your royal presence. The massive wealth transfer is actively seeking your physical address right now. Do not doubt the incredible miracles that are lining up at your front door today, because you have heavily paid the ultimate price in the dark. Stand tall and wear your invisible crown with absolute and unapologetic pride. Let them be mad and deeply jealous of your sudden rise to power. Let them whisper behind your back while they watch your effortless ascension to glory. Their miserable opinions can never penetrate the thick armor of your quiet authority, because you are the chosen one and your magnificent reign has officially begun. May the absolute grace of the universe violently protect your gentle heart. May your new timeline be completely flooded with unexpected financial blessings and deep spiritual peace. The massive spiritual storm is officially over. The bright sun is shining directly on your face, and the entire universe is completely ready to serve your highest good forever. Go out into the world and completely dominate your beautiful reality.